buy, rent, and refurbish. So this is one we often get. And let's be honest, we have all watched programs like Homes Under the Hammer, where someone buys something cheap, spends some money refurbishing it, and then either rents it out or flips it and makes loads of money. However, reality is typically very different. Now, this isn't to say it cannot be done, because let's be honest, it can. However, it all comes down to experience and, of course, time. The reality is that people can make money in this field are typically tradesmen, people who are in the building industry and know how to do the majority of the work themselves and have the time to do so. Why? Well, it's because the likes of you and I will more than likely have to pay someone to do the work, whereas they will be able to do the work themselves, reducing the cost of the refurbishment massively, as they are not paying high labour costs. They also have access to materials at cost price, and they can likely claim back 20% in VAT, which again is another massive saving. But importantly, before buying a property, they are able to go in and assess the works far better, as they simply know what they are looking at, which reduces the risk hugely, and they are not walking into unexpected costs that eat into the profit long term. So what does this mean? Well, it means that they are able to purchase the property at a higher cost than you or I, as their cost of refurbishing it for the same profit margin is far higher. This means that the properties where there is money to be earned, we will always miss out on. The ones that the builders do not buy, typically because they are not worth buying. However, let's say we are able to make a profit of say 10 to 15%, which even that now is tough nowadays, as large-scale developers are struggling to make these profit margins as the cost of labour and materials is massively increased. You then have to consider other factors and costs that will eat into those profit margins, such as taxes. You will have to pay capital gains tax on any profit made. Also, if you have used a mortgage or funding, there are interest payments and maybe penalties or fees to exit early or even late, depending on the situation. Lastly, your time. This is one that no one ever really takes into consideration. Most of us are extremely time poor or have families, etc. So you can't put a price on your time. Do you really want to be stripping walls on the weekend when you could be at home with your family enjoying yourself? More than likely not. So overall, I'm not saying that it cannot be done, but you have to make sure you run the numbers with contingencies and be honest with yourself and ask the question, do you really have time to deal with all of this? For us, there are far easier ways to make great money in the property market that is completely hands-off.